Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of At Home with Symphoria. I'm kcovert, and I have two very special guests with me today. Sarah Gentile, who is the Supervisor of Fine Arts at the Syracuse City School District, and Adam Shatraw, who is the Performing Arts Supervisor at East Syracuse Minoa Central School District. And we are so fortunate to have both of these wonderful teachers and educators on our Symphoria Education Committee, and that's how they're serving us today. Welcome, Sarah and Adam.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to start, and you know what I'll do is I'll pick someone to go, and then we don't have to have that awkward who's going next. But I want to start with talking about right now, particularly for music educators, this is a uniquely challenging time because we're not just dealing with figuring out how to teach things online or in person, or if we're going to do that, we're dealing with wind instruments and space issues and all kinds of things. So Adam, why don't you start with telling us a little bit about what your music educators are going through and how they're feeling right now.
Sure. I think I'm going to start with the second half of that, the how they're feeling part, because it's so important to acknowledge that with so much ambiguity and just kind of finding out things as they're happening and rolling out now, I know that they're scared. They're scared that they won't be able to offer students what they're expecting. They're nervous that they don't have the skills necessary to deliver a different type of instruction, whether it's teaching students who are in person and at home simultaneously, or if it's transitioning all of their curriculum to virtual. They're struggling, and there's a lot of nervousness and I would say a little bit of fear on a lot of the part of a lot of the teachers and all of us really, as we're trying to put this all together and figure it out. There's so many things to figure out. It's every building in my district, and Sarah, I'm sure that you're dealing with this on an even larger level, but every building is different and has its own set of issues. Every principal has their own, set of guidelines that they're giving to their teachers and protocols and procedures that they have to follow. So it's just a lot all at once for the teachers to have to digest and then action. They have to actually move forward and start developing their plans. So it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. So Sarah, what comes to mind when Adam is talking about this is the experience that the kids are going to have. Obviously, the teachers are a huge part of this, and I'm so grateful for the amazing teachers that we have to, shepherd our kids through this musical journey. But what about the kids? What is their experience going to be like, and how might it be different from what they're used to?
Well, to echo what Adam was saying, I would say there's also some grief on the part of the teachers in kind of mourning that ensemble experience that we're all really used to and is such a huge part of music education. That being said, music educators are resilient. And so we're busy figuring out how to give the students the best experience playing or singing while staying safe and managing all the guidelines, but give them the best experience possible and keep them excited about making music.
Mm-hmm. And, I'm coming at this not only as a member of Symphoria, but also I have a ninth grader who is in band, and he does not like doing the online stuff. And I think to myself, what can I do as a parent to really keep him engaged and keep him excited about playing trumpet and wanting to practice? And so I wonder, as both in your role as educators and supervisors of other music educators, and also in your role on our Symphoria Music Education Committee, what are some of the things that you're putting together to sort of fill in the gaps here? Adam, you want to go with that?
Sure. I'll start from a district perspective, then we'll talk a little bit about Symphoria too. Our district is really committed, and the music teachers are doing a fantastic job of this. Here's all the things that we can't do. Let's put that on a shelf and put it over here now. And now here's all the things that we really can do. And our first curriculum conversation, after we got this part out of the way, this became extremely rich and very exciting. I put one state standard in front of them. We unpacked it for 15 minutes, and then we started talking about lesson plan ideas. And all of a sudden, this ensemble experience became not only the in-class portion where they're going to be face-to-face with the kids with some part of responding to a piece of music, but then what can they do and go home as part of the virtual piece of their education, go home and then do this performance piece at home to supplement what they had done in class. So, the ideas and creativity are amazing. So I'm really super excited about that. And I think that the kids will definitely have a different experience in school with music, but I think it's going to be, in some ways, more well-rounded than it has been in ensembles in the past. So I'm excited about that piece. As far as Symphoria goes, we're working hard to put together multiple resources in terms of mini classes offered by the musicians of Symphoria, so the teachers can use those in their classrooms as supplements or as conversation starters, instructional tutorials, all those kinds of things, and that's very exciting. So that's a big piece of what Symphoria has been working on over the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm. And Sarah, how about you in your school district? What are you noticing as far as creativity goes? Because, I might be biased as a musician, but I think we're pretty creative.
Absolutely. And I'm very fortunate that I have a whole bunch of them in my department, with creativity just oozing all around. We have a lot of teachers that are leveraging video, and just being able to share their excitement for making music is infectious, I think. And I think that's going to be, relationships are the biggest component of teaching. And I think that's going to be what really keeps students engaged in the music and keeping going through this time.
100%. So Sarah, can you talk a little bit about how the Symphoria Youth Orchestras is going to sort of fill in the gap when it comes to in-person experiences?
Well, I think just the opportunity to, meet other musicians there at students' age or from around the area, that they can engage with, that they can perform at that higher level with is also going to be really important to their development.
100%. And we're really excited because for our first cycle of SYO, our Symphoria Youth Orchestras, which goes through November, our students are going to be doing smaller, socially distanced chamber music, and they get to work with Symphoria musicians as their coaches. And so it will be a different experience than they're used to having in a big ensemble. But it's a kind of experience that many kids never get to have until they're in college even. And so we're really excited to offer this new thing that maybe a lot of kids haven't had the chance to experience yet. And for all of you who are watching and wondering, auditions are still open for SYO if you're interested in that. We are having a cutoff date of September 1, which is just around the corner. So if you have a child or know of a child who might be interested in that, you can learn more on our website. So for both of you, what would be your best advice to parents who have musical children to help them really stay engaged, to encourage them to continue to practice and to continue to hone their musical skills? Sarah, why don't you go first?
I think the biggest piece is just the encouragement. Just, keep them excited about playing and support them in continuing to play in whatever that might look like, that meets their needs at the time. If it's them creating some of their own pieces, if that excites them, then support them doing that. If it's, listening and watching videos and learning that way, then support them doing that, but really support them in what's exciting them about performing at this time.
How about you, Adam?
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking that if I know that a lot of parents who have musical children are not necessarily musical themselves, and sometimes that's daunting, especially if you're trying to support a student's learning at home. remember that your teachers in your buildings are resources to you and will absolutely 100% be there if you say you need some assistance. They're there for the kids and they want the kids to be successful. Also ask them for resources like Symphoria, like a multitude of online resources, the NISMA website, for supplementary activities and additional supports that can help you to support your students at home as they continue the musical journey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love all of those tips. Thank you so much. I'm like taking note. And it's interesting because you say that as a non-musician, it can often feel daunting. And I will encourage all of the musical parents out there that too can be a challenge in its own way. Because, God forbid mom or dad know anything about music and try to help. So that's my experience anyway.
Mine too.
Sarah, that makes me feel good. It's not just in my house. So do either of you have any last words for those of you who those of our audience who are watching, or any parting thoughts?
I'll jump in. Yeah, I think it's really important. I say this to my teachers kind of as a mantra. This is temporary. It seems like it's going to go on forever, but it's temporary. Ensembles will come back. We will make music together as groups again. Music has survived for centuries, and group singing and group playing has been around for a very long time, and it's going to come back, and it's going to be stronger. And when we do get to experience it, and I'm probably going to get teary-eyed at this point, when we do get to experience it again, it's going to be even more special and even more deeply moving than it ever has been in our lives.
You're making me cry, Adam. How about you, Sarah? Any last words?
I would echo exactly what Adam said, and then just add that we're going to get through this because of our educators. Mm-hmm. And they're really the ones that are kind of supporting the effort to move through this. So.
Yeah, and I think I would just like to say, if there are any music educators that are watching this and feeling like they don't have resources or they don't have access to Symphoria, please reach out to us. Please leave a comment. I will put my email in the post so you can email me and I can connect you with Adam and Sarah. But if you're looking for resources, we have those here for you. As music educators, we want you to feel supported by Symphoria too. And if you're watching this and a band teacher or a chorus teacher or general music teacher, and you think, well, they might be interested in this, you can share it with them. And know that, as far as we're concerned, it feels a little selfish because we want these kids to be raised up into the next generation of our audience and to come and to experience Symphoria and love it as much as we do. So thank you both for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with me today. I so appreciate you. And to all of you who are watching, thank you for listening and thank you for being a part of our Symphoria family. And know that we have concerts coming on the way starting September 26th. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.